All right, whenever you're ready.
My topic today, my name is Daniel Zamudio, and my topic today is internet censorship. So the claim is that government internet censorship will have a negative effect on society. And so some definitions is internet censorship. The definition for it is control or suppression of the publishing or accessing of information on the internet. And it's already been noticed that other countries have enforced internet censorship. So my three subtopics today would be reactions of people to proposed censorship bills, and reactions of people in other countries with internet censorship already, and reasons as to why governments believe internet censorship is a good idea. On the first subclaim of reactions of people to proposed censorship bills, one of the proposed internet censorship bills is known as SOPA, as in Stop Online Piracy Act, which is pretty much, it has met a lot of opposition, mainly by websites such as Mozilla Firefox, which on their own website, they promote that the government will use the bill to shut down websites on small infringements without due process of law. And so another key point is that people have stated that the bills are flawed in the sense that the government would try to expand its power from restricting piracy on internet censoring, as stated by Eric Schmidt, executive chairman of Google. He pretty much stated that there is a bill that would require ISPs, internet service providers, to remove URLs from the web, which is also known as censorship. So pretty much this tells the reactions of people already to the proposed bills of SOPA, and unfortunately the act did not pass. And another one is the reactions of people in other countries with internet censorship, such as China, which has enacted internet censorship. Because of this, it has been subjected to cyber attacks towards its military, as mentioned by William Wan in the Washington Post. And another claim is that, as stated in the Washington Post, internet speeds in China have declined and company data is less secure, thus having a negative effect on the economy, which enrages business associates within China and other countries. And another country that has implemented internet censorship is Iran, which blocking sites such as Skype and Facebook, which are usually used for social media purposes. As a result of these totalitarian actions, the public views VPNs, which are virtual private networks, to continue using such websites. But now the government has blocked the use of VPNs, and social unrest has begun. As stated by Vigane Torbati, Iran is holding the presidential election in June, its first since 2009, when a disputed result led to the worst unrest since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Reasons why the government thinks that internet censorship is such a good idea is because they're using the scapegoat of internet piracy, which is what SOPA and Protect IP Act have thought that it's such a good idea to stop piracy. Now, yet in the bill being proposed, SOPA, there is a clause stating, and this is directly from the bill, the service provider shall take technically feasible and reasonable measures designed to prevent access by its subscribers located within the United States to the foreign infringing site or portion thereof. That is subject to the order, including measures designed to prevent the domain name of a foreign infringing site from resolving to that domain's name internet protocol address, which clearly outlines the definition of internet censorship from the beginning, which is pretty much the government's trying to filter the internet at the expense of other people and their businesses. In other words, piracy is being used as a piggyback for internet censorship. And that is why internet censorship will have a negative effect on society, because governments will attack on businesses and pretty much will decline the social status of the United States. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Daniel, you ID the topic claim pretty clearly. The secondary points, though, aren't phrased as claims. They sound like you're outlining an informative speech and you're going to tell us about the subject rather than make inferences. I do think that there are some places in the speech where you make inferences, so I do see some arguments there, but I do think there's also another problem, and that is that you are conflating the issue of the piracy bills with the censorship bills, and I think the way that you want to get rid of that is to not make reference to the kind of censorship that's going on in China and Iran and focus instead on the problems with the piracy bills. That seems to be your main complaint there, because the kinds of censorship that's going on in the other places that you mentioned, it doesn't seem at all related to the business issues that you're talking about. Now, the objection to the piracy bills, I think, makes this assumption, it treats them as if they are equivalent. And I think that you would find that this will be one of the arguments that the the respondent will be dealing with, and that is that you've said removal of a URL is censorship. If the content, for instance, is being removed for the purpose of restricting people's access to information or ideas, that is censorship. I think you'll find that there's a big argument that says when there's proprietary interest here, that's simply protecting somebody's copyright rules or their patents, and so the treating that as if it's censorship would be the equivalent, for instance, of treating, taking somebody's counterfeit books off of the shelves of a bookstore, saying, "Oh, that's censorship." Well, I got 50 copies of the original book sitting over here that comes from the publisher that has a legal right to publish it. I have access to the information. Why is it that it's censorship if I still have access to the information? I think you, like I said, conflated those things. You do have this argument that says that censorship is being piggybacked on the piracy laws, and I think that's a good link in a chain argument, but you have to develop that a lot more. If there are rules in these piracy laws that, in essence, are going to allow censorship, not just protection of people's property rights, then I think you need to develop that argument. None of this seems particularly threatening since the bills didn't pass. I don't know if anybody's reintroduced them, and it's all hypothetical at this particular point. So you're talking about an issue that has mostly been dead for the last 18 months, and unless you can show that it's being revived, I'm not sure why we're getting an argument on it. I thought you did a good job citing expert testimony on a number of points. Like I said, I think there's a problem with some of the examples because I don't think they necessarily fit the claims that you're making. All right, thank you.